I made this for like $1.25, and it is so cute. So those little wooden pieces, the little rabbits came from Dollar Tree. That was like 50 cents from St. Vinny's. I think that used to be like one of those whiskey barrels that go around to St. Bernard, because there was like leather straps or something, it looked like, on the sides that I took off. But I filled up the hole on that bunny and used some white chalk paint. And I painted both sides. I wanted to give it that crackle look, but it's a hit or miss for me with that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I thought I would try the Elmer's glue trick. And some pieces or some parts of it turned out like really, really cute. So I just sanded that barrel down a little bit. Not much. Light sanding. And then I use the Waverly Antique Wax. Oh, here's where I'm taking out those leather things. I use the antique wax with water. Wiped it on, or put it on, wiped it off right away. I didn't want it on super thick or dark. So yeah, that's why I put the Elmer's glue on, and I just rubbed it all in. Obviously, I put too much on, like I always do most of that stuff. So I actually just wipe it off with my brush and put it on the paper towel there. And then I use my heat tool. And just put another light coat on it. And I bring out that heat tool again. And like I said, some parts of this rabbit came out so cute. And then other parts didn't crackle very good. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. If someone wants to let me know, please do in the comments. I appreciate your feedback. Yeah, so I just let that dry good. Then I distress it. It was sprinkled, chocolate sprinkled. That was the color of that one. And I just thought I wanted to sand it down a little bit more. I thought it was a little bit too dark still. And here I'm just dry brushing on some white chalk paint. And I'm not being very careful because I want it to, you know, get darker on some spots, like on the raised parts. So I was not being careful at all. Now, I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do here, but I knew that I wanted the bunny to be like inside, or to look like it's in like a meadow or something. So here I'm just kind of messing around trying to figure out what kind of flowers or what kind of greens I want to put up there. Those are almost like paper flowers. They're not silk. I don't know, got them from the thrift store. So I actually took some floral foam and I just cut, I don't know, must have been about less than an inch, or maybe it was about an inch, 3/4 of an inch, and I filled the top of that barrel so that it would stick in there better. And then you can see there, you can see the back. Then I just took some greens, and they were all left over from other projects, so I didn't, use any full sprigs of anything. Took some Spanish moss there on the back because it was kind of tipping backwards on me, so I wanted to use something with a little bit of ability to help hold it. So I glued some Spanish moss on the back. Then I had to kind of make a line where I stuck some glue, and then I put the rabbit in the floral foam, and that worked out pretty well. I ended up using some fake lavender instead of the flowers. I didn't put flowers in there. I thought it looked too generic-y. And I just tucked little bitty pieces of the moss in there just to fill so you couldn't see the floral foam. Yeah, and that's where I was just making like that line in the floral foam there. I actually used a razor there and cut it. And then I just took little pieces of green to also help hold it in there. And I didn't want it to look so empty in the back because I wanted it to look like the bunny was kind of, hiding in a little meadow or something. Then I took some Spanish moss and put it inside the hole there. And there you go. For something that cost $1.25, this turned out really cute, I think. If you love simple, cozy farmhouse DIYs like this, make sure you subscribe. I've got a lot more coming. Tell me in the comments, would you keep this one? Where would you put it? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.